One of the best things you can do as a budding content creator is go to as many events as you can. I just got back from a Sony Sessions event, as it was called, and it was promoting new content creators. It was promoting their Sony ZV lineup, it was promoting their sound systems, it was promoting community coming together and networking, and it really worked. I met a bunch of new photographers and videographers and other styled content creators. I saw a bunch of photographers and videographers that I personally know or have worked with, so it was really great catching up with them. And it was this wild experience where I got to pull out like a little bit of a nugget of something new that I hadn't really thought of because I went. And that's something that everyone needs to do to improve their creativity or the way that you are working, how you are trying to grow. Going to these events are so important because even if you come back with one new thing, that could just be the most valuable piece of information you've ever learned. When I first got to the Sony event, I thought I was in the wrong place because it wasn't a regular panel where you sit and you just listen to someone talk at you and then you ask a few questions at the end and then they say goodbye. No way, Sony doesn't do it that way. Sony does it in the biggest way possible. First of all, you get this great little gift bag, which, I mean, yeah, sure, I've gotten at other panels, don't get me wrong, but did it come with a Sony cookie? I don't think so. Did it come with Sony Fairy Floss? I don't think so. Did it come with Sony Rock Hard Candy? That says little Sony on it, if you can see it there. Again, I don't think so. But also, comment below, which one is your favorite? I think I'm the cookie. But the first thing I noticed when I walked in was the basketball court. There was a half court inside this warehouse where you could go and you could just shoot hoops. And if you were lucky enough to get 3 in a row, you got a little token to go and play a claw machine. Oh, did I not mention the claw machines? Everyone gets a token to use 2 different claw machines to win some product. Now, I was very unlucky, but also I guess a little bit lucky because though I didn't win a camera or a sound system, some of the little balls that you would pull out of the claw machine, they had nothing in them, but I won some Sony socks, which is kind of cool because I have a Sony hat now. I've got a Sony tote bag. I mean, I'm just a walking Sony advocate now, aren't I? I wish. Sony, I've got the socks. That's the thing. It was this crazy event where there was a half court to shoot hoops with friends. There was a half pipe with some professional skaters just shredding it on the half pipe for fun. All while there was this amazing DJ playing all this wonderful music that you could just go and dance to, or you could just listen to while you're shooting hoops, really getting in the moment, really getting the vibe. So good. If you wanted to, you could go to a DDR game, literally Dance Dance Revolution was there, as well as another section that you could do some extra dancing with your friends, and they had this ZVE lineup. You go play with the Sony ZVE 10 Mark II, the one that flips into portrait mode for, you know, easy portrait recording. I think that's such a great new addition to their camera lineup. And then on top of all of that, you got free food and free drinks. It was something that they really wanted to include everyone in. Everyone that was there was either a content creator already, someone that wants to get into content creation, or a little bit of a mix, you know, that kind of like soft zone where you're like, I make content, but I don't really. And that was so good. The amount of people that you meet at these things is so important, and going to them is one of the best things that you can do to improve your own creativity and belief in yourself to be in that space. The panel that was actually there was 4 creators who had kind of really blew up in COVID time during lockdown. And though they've made videos before, and one was a cinematographer prior to that, so he has these amazing videos. 2 of them were like fashion people, but also different niches inside of that. You know, we then had the standard chat with the panel, and they gave some really great information. There was some really cool insights into how you can get out of a motivational rut. So, you know, some of them had this to say.
I find inspiration, sound a bit silly, but I'll just go for a walk to the shops, just go around the aisles, and I'll find like a silly product to use in my challenges and whatnot. And that generally is, yeah, my best sort of solution, yeah.
I think, like, with me, I'm quite a basic girly with my content. Like, I'm not doing anything crazy. It's just kind of fashion, beauty. But honestly, like, other creators, I get so much inspiration from. Like, even overseas, like the UK, like Europe creators, what they're doing. I feel like once they do it, everyone in Australia is like jumping on it. We're kind of behind with the trends. So I'm constantly looking to other creators and then putting my own twist on it. But it is hard when you're in like a kind of down week or a creative block. It can be hard to get out of it. So yeah, I would just say stay consistent and push through.
Yeah. Touching on what you said, I feel that whenever I travel, that's when I get rid of my creative block. Like I go overseas and see new things, try new things, eat new foods. That gives me so much inspiration. So when I come back and get back into content creation, I can do the thing I love and not feel like I'm just doing it because I'm going through the motions. Because I feel like sometimes it can feel like that sometimes.
Yeah, it can get really repetitive. Yeah.
Adding on to that, I think a creative idea is not too far away. I actually try to look at my everyday life in the mundane and try to be creative in my everyday life, or just something just normal to you could be unique to someone else online. So the easiest recipe I do, like 3-minute ramen recipes, that's like mind-blowing to some people, but I'm just like, that's just my, late night snack. So finding ideas in the mundane.
There were also questions that I didn't actually record, but were really helpful. So, there was one other creator who mentioned, how do you deal with hate online? And, we're all told, you're going to get hate, just deal with it, just ignore it. And yeah, that's good advice, but I was really surprised by the advice from, Soph, which was to not only give the attention that we can't help but give to a bad comment that can eat us inside, but look at every other good comment that's there. Don't just scroll past them, read them, because someone took that time to write that comment, to type that and send it through their comments to you to see. So if you're going to get hung up on the bad comment, the hateful one, give the same amount of time and appreciation to the good ones. One of the other things that I really appreciated, and this is the gold nugget that I got from this is the thing that I go, wow, this is going to change the way that I see my videos. And it was from Anya. He was really knowledgeable. I really enjoyed listening to him talk about how he sees social media and the platforms, and he says he is, an introvert, and he says that he's also a perfectionist, and those are some really hard things to get past. And I can understand that when we're making videos to put out to the world to be judged, we don't want them to not be perfect. We want them to be the most amazing things in the world, but that's just nearly impossible sometimes. And he talks about how he made this one phrase, and it's stuck in my mind, which is creativity has a shelf life. And I thought to myself, wow, that's a great way to talk about perfectionism that isn't just talking about being a perfectionist. It's this idea that when you have a great idea, you get so hung up on making it perfect that it sits on the shelf until you make all the bits you need, until it's perfect, until it's edited right, color graded right, shot right. And so the longer it sits on the shelf, the more stale it gets. It gets old. When you have a good idea and you want to talk about something, don't just wait, just start doing it, just get it out there. The more you make things, the more you'll see how you like your videos to look, you'll see the things you're missing, the skills you need to learn, and then you'll start to work on that. If you avoid that, then you're always at square one. So I'm making this video hoping that my backdrop looks good, that my audio is good, that all the B-roll that I took at the event is enough to get me through this video, and anything that's missing, well, I'll do better on the next one. So go to events. It doesn't have to be a sit-down panel talk. Go to a workshop where you can go to a space that you yourself might not be able to get to so easily. Go to them, because even if they cost a little bit of money, you are going to get so much out of it. You're going to learn techniques if it's a workshop. You're going to get insight from people who are doing it right now, who have done the hard work and are continuing to do it. And you're going to build a community by seeing and re-meeting lots of people that are in your niche or your niches. It's super important to do that, and I value that so much. And I just think that Sony knocked this one out of the park. This event was amazing, and it was just not what I was expecting, and I got more out of it than I honestly thought I really would. So that was great. Anyway, go to an event. You won't regret it. Oh yeah. I'm a cookie guy. That's good.